firstly, domestically, many countries begin to restrict people's movement, restrict the transportation. So the local food supply chains can be broken. So farmers can produce more, but they cannot sell. So the prices fall down. In the meantime, the consumers will have to pay higher prices because the whole supply chain is broken. So the urban consumers are struggling with the food supply. So this is a global issue. Many countries begin to restrict the rice export. So if more countries follow, then we will have a global food price crisis. G20 countries, so 20 big countries, United Nations system, including World Trade Organization, World Health Organization, that's WHO, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, the World Bank, IMF, all have to come up to call for stop export bans. So the countries are not allowed to use export bans to secure their own supply. So that's very critical. So make sure that no export bans. Make sure that global trade system will work. So that's number one. Number two, I think they should learn from China to create a green channel for food production, for food transportation, for food processing, and for food export. Other things can wait, but the medicines, medical supply, and food cannot wait. If you wait, people will die, and will not be able to recover. But China has a very good strategic reserve system. The central government has its reserve, but in the meantime, the provinces also have their reserves. So the two layers of the reserve system, so central level, provincial level. So during the COVID-19, Wuhan, Hubei, and surrounding provinces had no problem in accessing food because of strategic reserves. And also the private sector companies here in China, they have lots of reserves. So for rice and wheat, we have probably 1 year of stock. But I think I'm more worried about meat and the import of soybean. In a normal year, China has been importing about 70 million to 90 million tons of soybean from US, from Argentina, from Brazil. So last year it's Brazil. Brazil was the largest exporter of China. And US is second, the third is Argentina. So I really hope the whole supply chain, the whole trade of soybean will not be affected. So far we have not seen the US soybean supply has been affected. Brazil, we have seen some small case, somewhere maybe the port capacity, the workers cannot go to work, but we have to watch that very carefully. The meat, the last year China already imported lots of meat because of the African swine fever. So we imported meat. And this year, I think we will continue to import meat. So meat, soybean will continue to be imported. So we have to watch the international market, make sure that the whole, the global supply chain will not be disrupted. So in general, I think Chinese food and nutrition security looks very stable, looks very good. For many countries, the supply chain is still working. It's the US, Europe, and here even China. In China in February, I think there were some problems because the restrictions of transportation, the poultry industry, livestock industry were affected. So they couldn't get the feed, they couldn't get the workers, they couldn't sell their products. But that problem has been solved. So in March, we have already seen meat production has gone up, the prices have come down. So meat price actually has come down. Even pork price has come down quite significantly. So I think the people should not be panicked. The food is there. So normally we purchase 1 week of food with fresh vegetables, pork, or grains. But if we begin to stockpile our food for 1 month instead of 1 week, then the whole supply chain will be choked. So you just do not have enough supply. If everybody begin to store their food in their home. So my advice is do not stockpile your food. And if you do that, you will do more harm to the society and even to yourself.